Have you ever met someone online who felt so normal that your guard slowly dropped without you realizing it? That's how it started for me. I matched with a woman named Rachel on Bumble last spring. Her photos didn't look fake, no heavy filters, no strange poses, just a normal woman with a normal life. And that sense of normal is what made everything that followed so terrifying. We talked for several days. Nothing strange, nothing rushed. She didn't push for anything, and even said she wanted to take things slow. That felt rare. I remember thinking she felt different from everyone else on the app, like someone real in a place full of fake people. I trusted that feeling more than I should have. After about a week, we agreed to meet for dinner. She picked a quiet restaurant in a calm part of town. When I arrived, I texted her that I had parked. No reply. 10 minutes passed, then 20. I stood near the entrance, pretending not to care, but inside I felt embarrassed, like everyone could tell I was being stood up. The hostess told me no one under Rachel's name had checked in. I was about to leave when a man walked directly toward me. He was older, scruffy, wearing a black hoodie. He said my name before I could say anything. That alone caught me off guard. Then he told me he was Rachel's brother. He said Rachel wasn't feeling well, but still wanted to meet me. He said she asked him to pick me up and take me to their place nearby. Every part of that sounded wrong. I asked why she didn't text me herself. He said her phone died. His voice was calm, too calm. I told him I was fine walking and asked for the address. He said it would be better if he showed me. That's when my stomach dropped. Something inside me screamed that this wasn't normal. I told him we should reschedule and started walking away.
He stepped in front of me. Not aggressive, just enough to block my path. He said Rachel would be upset and that she really wanted to meet me. I told him I'd text her later. He stared at me silently, then stepped aside and said, "Have a good night." It sounded like a warning.
I left fast and locked my car doors. As I drove away, I saw him standing outside the restaurant watching me. He didn't move. He didn't react. He just watched until I turned the corner. Later that night, Rachel messaged me asking why I didn't come. When I mentioned her brother, she replied instantly and said she didn't have one. Then she stopped responding. Soon after, I started getting alerts that someone was trying to log into my accounts. A week later, I found a folded paper near my apartment dumpster. Inside was a photo of me standing inside that restaurant, taken from outside. On the back was one word: you. Rachel never existed, and I believe I was meant to go with him that night. Loneliness can make you ignore warning signs you'd normally never miss. That's why I downloaded Hinge. That's how I matched with a woman named Rebecca. Her profile looked real. Her photos showed a normal life, and I believed it without question. Our conversations were short and spread out. She took hours to reply. Then suddenly, late at night, she agreed to meet me at a local bar on Friday. Something felt off, but I brushed it aside. I told myself I was overthinking. When I arrived at the bar, it was nearly empty. That alone felt strange. It was a Friday night. The parking lot had only a few cars. I sat in my car for a moment, feeling uneasy, before checking my phone. She texted saying she was parked behind the bar and having car trouble. Behind the bar was nothing but dumpsters and woods. I tried calling her. It went straight to voicemail. My chest tightened. She begged me to come help her. Every instinct in my body told me not to. I typed a short message saying this didn't feel right and that I was leaving. My hands were shaking as I put my car in reverse. As I started driving away, two men in ski masks ran out from behind the building straight toward my car. I didn't wait to see what they wanted. I floored it. I drove straight home without stopping. My heart was pounding so hard I could barely think. Only when I got out of the car did I notice a large dent in my trunk, like something heavy had been thrown. I called the police and told them everything. They listened, but there wasn't much they could do. No suspects, no leads, just a warning to be careful. What scared me most was realizing how close I came to walking into that dark space behind the bar. One bad decision, one step in the wrong direction.
I still use dating apps, but I never meet anyone without talking first, because that night taught me something important. Some profiles aren't looking for dates, they're setting traps.
I was living in a small condo with my friends, buried in stress and pressure. Exams were coming up, and my mind never felt quiet. I was tired, lonely, and emotionally drained. That's when I met him, online. I'll call him Michael. At first, he felt like comfort, someone calm, someone steady, someone who made the nights feel less heavy. Michael was charming in the beginning. He replied fast, but not too fast. He listened, he joked. We talked every day, then every night. Hours would pass while I stared at the ceiling, listening to his voice. It felt real, it felt safe, but there was one strange thing I ignored. He never showed his face. He said his phone was stolen. He said his laptop camera didn't work. At first, I believed him. Then slowly, something felt off, especially when his tone changed. Almost every time the conversation became personal, he asked for explicit photos. I always said no. I made my boundaries clear. He would apologize, promise to stop, then ask again the next day like nothing happened. It became a cycle. Push, refuse, sulk, repeat. And somehow, I stayed. Every time I suggested meeting in person, he had an excuse. Busy, sick, not in the city, soon. It was always soon. My friends noticed. They warned me. They said something wasn't right. I defended him anyway. In December, I finally invited him to spend Christmas with my family. For the first time, he said yes instantly. I let myself believe it meant something, like everything would finally make sense. The next day, he called me crying. His voice shook. Then he confessed. The photos were fake. His name was fake. His life was fake. He had stolen someone else's pictures and built a lie around them. My stomach dropped. When I said I wanted to end things, he snapped, then begged, then blamed me. He said I only cared about looks. He asked to still come for Christmas. I blocked him. I thought it was over. Almost a year later, he messaged me again. Then he sent a photo. It was my house. My parents weren't home. I locked the doors and called the police as my hands shook. He showed up, pounding on the door, yelling my name. The police arrived and arrested him. They told me he was holding a knife. Even now, that thought makes my skin crawl, because his lies almost brought him into my home. I wasn't new to dating apps, but I wasn't good at them either. After a long relationship ended, I felt lost, so I downloaded Hinge. That's where I matched with a woman named Jenna. She was attractive, confident, and seemed interested right away. She asked to move the conversation to Instagram. Her profile had thousands of followers, but only 2 photos. Both were mirror selfies. All the comments were from men. No friends, no tags. I noticed it, but didn't think too deeply. We decided to meet that same night at a bar I knew well. I arrived early and sat at the bar. While waiting, I checked her profile again. Something felt wrong, but I couldn't explain why. A man sat down next to me and started talking. He wouldn't stop. He introduced himself as Rob. He was older, awkward, and made me uncomfortable. I tried to ignore him and messaged Jenna. Jenna wasn't replying. Her Hinge profile disappeared. That's when it hit me. I'd been catfished. I asked for the check and stood up to leave. As I turned away, the man grabbed my wrist. He leaned in and whispered, "I'm Jenna. Please don't go." My stomach turned. I ripped my hand free and rushed out. As I turned away, the man grabbed my wrist. He leaned in and whispered, "I'm Jenna. Please don't go." My stomach turned. I ripped my hand free and rushed out.
I drove home in silence. No music, no calls, just shock. I blocked the account, or maybe it blocked me first. I tried to forget it ever happened.
Later that night, something slammed against my bedroom window. I froze. Then I heard a man's voice saying my name over and over. He knew I was inside. I didn't move until morning. When I finally opened the blinds, there was a note taped to the glass. It said, "I'll be watching you." My heart sank. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe my channel. See you on next videos. Till then, goodbye.